In the quiet town of Ravensridge, nestled deep within sprawling woodlands, there circulated an eerie legend. This sinister figure was rumored to haunt the fog-bound expanses of the Forbidden Forest, a place so dense and untouched it might as well have been from another world. It all began when Mark, a 15-year-old with a yen for card games, acquired a seemingly ordinary card at a dusty, out-of-the-way thrift shop. The card was peculiar to say the least, depicting a fierce-eyed creature with flaming orange hair and an unsettling grin. The card bore an odd energy, one that seemed to pulse and breathe. Its I-squared beta negation betas cursed. That night, as a chill wind howled through the trees, Mark and his friends gathered for a duel in his dimly lit basement. The air crackled with excitement as they battled, trading jibes and laughter. The game was long and competitive until Mark, feeling particularly emboldened, drew Luther's card. As soon as his fingers brushed the slick surface, a piercing cold shot up his arm, and the room seemed to darken. Ignoring the gnawing unease, Mark slammed Luther onto the table, grinning. Suddenly, the room was filled with a heavy, oppressive silence. The once flickering light overhead steadied, and an icy chill suffused the air. The other kids shifted uncomfortably, but continued, unsure of what they had just unleashed. In the following days, Mark noticed strange occurrences around the card. He would catch fleeting glimpses of a ghostly figure just beyond his peripheral vision. Shadows darkened corners of his room even during the brightest parts of the day. His dreams became haunted landscapes of eerie forests, where whispers of long-forgotten lore chilled his very bones. One evening, as Mark lay half asleep, a whisper broke the silence. Startled, Mark bolted upright. The air filled with the smell of burned wood as Luther stretched out a clawed hand. Terrified, Mark grabbed the card and flung it across his room, hoping to end this nightmare. But that only seemed to amuse Luther. Feeling desperate, Mark remembered the old shopkeeper's warning. He stumbled through his dim room, finally finding the flimsy plastic case that had contained the card initially. The shadowy figure loomed closer as Mark's heart pounded in his chest. The temperature dropped further until his breath came out in clouds. With trembling hands, Mark dropped the card back into the case. In that instant, a blinding flash of light illuminated the room, followed by an immense whooshing sound as if all the air had been sucked out. When Mark's vision cleared, Luther was gone. Breathing heavily, Mark raced through the night to the old thrift shop. The shopkeeper was waiting, as if expecting him. Without a word, the old man took the card from Mark and placed it in a weathered box behind the counter. Luther of the Forbidden Forest was banished back into the obscurity of forgotten nightmares, slated to haunt the dreams of another unwitting soul who would stumble upon the cursed card in some future time. Life in Ravensridge returned to its gentle quiet, the dark legend now buried with the shadows of the past. Mark cherished the normalcy of each passing day, never again tempted by the allure of what might lie hidden in the unknown.